Cora report.
I'm impressed.
Who's our Cora reporter today?
Planning for Ham Holiday is ongoing.
Still at Rose State, still in July.
I'm trying to think whether I should mention the next thing. I think I'll hold off on that. Contacting vendors, will still be out at OCCC. Have a Wolf Hong ceremony and banquet on, banquet and then the Wolf Hong ceremony on Friday evening. Saturday, of course, is the main show. We will be in the student union area out at OCCC and expand out into what they call the atrium. I don't like their lobby, because the area that we used for the banquet the last time, which was essentially convention rooms, that has been turned into classrooms. So we'll be having the banquet probably out in the atrium area. But planning is ongoing. Meetings are first Saturday of the month. Everybody's welcome. The more hands we have helping us out, the better.
Okay. Oklahoma City Memorial Marathon.
Oh, me again. Okay. That's next weekend. Registration for volunteers has closed, but that shouldn't stop you from volunteering. We can still get your t-shirt and all the equipment. We've got all the locations covered, but we'd always like to have extra help in case of cancellations, which happen. So we're in the final week. If you're interested, let me know. We can get arrange to get you a late registration. Okay.
Old business, OCAPA equipment inventory. I've taken a look at the spreadsheets, and we're gonna coordinate and get a group together to go over all the old inventory. Make sure, yes, sir?
There's some other things that came to mind that are probably not on the inventory, and one of them was one I used this week, and it's a club owned, I think it was donated, I don't remember, I think Daryl actually provided, but it's the air cannon for launching ropes to pull antennas up, and we have it, it's available for checkout, and manage it as you will, but
Okay, go ahead and send me an email and we can add it to the inventory.
yeah, that lives at Dwayne's place, but we need to have some kind of a an inventory or something so people can know to ask for it.
Right.
Because if you don't know, you won't ask, because you have to go buy one.
Okay, the OCAPA equipment inventory is required by the Constitution, so we're gonna get it done. New business. I'll start with the life membership proposal. One of our hams, Arnie, had a really good idea that we create a life membership for OCAPA members. Our normal annual dues is $30 a year, and we have people who have been members for a very long time. And our thought was to consider a life membership. The proposed amount was 5 times the annual fee. So for $150, you could become an OCAPA life member. Probably shouldn't vote on it at this meeting because it will require some thought. But let me know your thoughts on this, pros and cons. Long term, it's not my fault, Bill. Long term,
Always your fault.
yeah, I get blamed. Long term, it'll probably reduce the income to the club slightly. Short term, it will probably increase the club slightly. I know if it becomes available, I will become a member. That's just me personally. So just keep that in your minds and try to think of all the pros and cons and send your suggestions to me. I did receive a suggestion this morning that we prorate it, maybe something similar to a decades limit. Like if you're 80 and above, it's one fee. If you're 70 to 80, it's a different fee. 60 to 70, it's a third fee. Something to consider.
I think
So, and if you have any other proposals to go with that, please let me know. The ARRL life fee is very big. It's like $1,200 or $1,500. So, but you get a brick with your name on it. We're not buying bricks. So, yes, sir.
Is membership the main revenue income for the club?
it's the only.
Over the last 6 years, donations have exceeded membership considerably. However, those donations are normally due to silent key. So it's not something we should count on. So the answer to your question is the main source, the official source is one-on-one donations for whatever reasons and membership dues. Arnie, you said we had $4,700 in our club currently?
Oh, I
It's over
didn't say it.
$4,500.
Right. 4,909 change right now.
Yeah,
That seems like about the highest I've ever remembered for OCAPA.
it's the highest I've been in since 2011.
Well, it's gonna go down soon.
Yeah, but I don't think it'll go down close to zero. So anyway, that's something to consider or potentially consider when you're thinking about the life membership. Yes, sir.
Did you finish?
I was about to, but go ahead.
Didn't mean to interrupt.
No, you're not. Go ahead.
Steve gave me credit for having this idea. I didn't have it. As treasurer, a member asked me if we
Okay.
have a life membership, because there is one on the roster. And that, Tom told me, is the person that donated the use of the tower where 2-1 used to be. Did I say that right?
Pretty close, yeah, he was,
That's
And it
correct.
shows on the roster.
That's
Is-
correct. That's Don Clark,
Yeah.
Special act. of-
KB5 KWV.
Yeah. Yeah, it's on the roster, so.
So anyway, if you have any questions, email them to me. If you have any suggestions, email them to me. Next topic, field day arrangements. Tom?
field day's coming up, at the end of June. We need to, start, getting our ducks in a row, as to how we wanna conduct field day, where we wanna conduct it. Rose State is out because of, their sudden interest in only allowing, school affiliated organizations to use their places. We're working on, Bill Underwood's working on the possibility of going to Oklahoma School of Science and Mathematics. Have you got another one? Which is?
Newcastle.
Okay, Newcastle, Rick Peter site's another possibility. If anyone else has some place, that we might be able to hold field day, let us know. Probably at the May meeting, come up with a decision as to what format, if we'll have it as a field day or individual or small groups, contributing your score to OCAPA, we'll work that out. Some clubs are still doing the individualized field day, others are, going back to their regular locations.
Yeah,
Well,
they-
Kyle Perry and I just talked about this a little bit ago. And Kyle looked at the last 2 years during COVID, how many people submitted logs. Like 13 2 years ago and 9 last year. You know, that's not very good turnout if we have it somewhere.
Right, distributed is still allowed by the rules, but it's, like Jeff said, it's not the optimal. And the purpose of field day is to see if we can get the clubs out and, operate remotely.
But what I'm saying, what Kyle was saying is like, well, if we only had that many operators, if we have that many on site, you know, it's not worth having. You know, if you only have like 9 people at, you know, location somewhere.
Or scale it down to just run one transmitter and then swap operators in and out.
So these are the kinds of thoughts that we need mailed in so that we can present them as a unit to the club.
And we gotta do it pretty quick.
Yes, we
Before
can't
you know it.
decide the weekend before field day where we're gonna do it and what we're gonna do. It should be done no later than the end of May.
Now, if you did have it at Newcastle, one transmitter might be the way to go, cause you're not gonna have room for 2.
We could do that.
We could do that.
I don't
Because
see
we
how.
got
we
it
talked to
covered.
the farm, and the farmer he said, if I'm not cutting hay, okay, and let me know, you know.
When did you talk to him? Last year?
Yeah,
Well, you need to talk to him this year to figure out what crop is out there now.
Yeah. And
You know,
There's
you're not
nothing
gonna
out there.
you're not gonna be able to drive out into that. The only thing you'll be able to do
that's
is
okay.
put an antenna.
Yeah,
We'll
if
be
we
able
can-
to put lots of
That's
antennas.
what we said, yeah, radiate out from the tower,
Yeah.
make a bunch of slopers, opposing sides, and.
I
it'd be
still don't
nothing
see
more
that
than a
that's
stake in
gonna
the
be
ground.
far enough apart.
And we
Yeah,
have a
we-
1,000-foot diameter, I'm sorry to interrupt you. We have a 1,000-foot diameter circle with which to work. So we've got plenty of room for consideration, not necessarily in actuality, to work with. So please email me your suggestions, NE5SD@ARRL. Ideas, suggestions, comments, pros, cons, whatever you can think of. The more information we have, the better decision we can make.
If we have a dozen people, that site would work for parking, but if you have a big group of people, you're not gonna have parking either.
We're gonna park along the road, cause we're gonna need that area inside the fence.
So we can come up with plans, so whether it's at the 2-1 site or the School of Science and Mathematics, we just need a plan. So we need ideas, pros and cons that we need to include to determine the best way to go for our club. And maybe, given COVID and everything else that's still around there, maybe working distributed is our best option. I don't know. I've had 4 shots, so that's me personally. I don't know how other people feel. But it's something to consider.
One thing is, maybe having, they want to work 2 stations and stuff, having one at each site to a point under the same license space.
But you
Yeah.
can't.
Can't do
No,
that.
I
Yeah.
mean, if it's within a certain distance, it could be, I think.
1,000 feet.
1,000 feet.
It's 1,000 feet diameter for club station efforts. However, with the rules, you can work distributed, which means you can operate your home site
Yeah.
and relate it back to W5MEL. Bill could operate his home site and relate it back to W5MEL. So that's a true distributed operation. But like Jeff said, for 2 years, the number's gone down. It didn't start up very high and it decreased the next year. So
But I think maybe what he is saying is have club effort, then also have distributed.
and we could do that too. We could do a combination of the above.
Yeah.
So I just need all the ideas to come in. You guys are incredibly sharp and you have a lot of experience. Communicate it to me so that I can present it to the club and we can make an informed decision.